Survivor Juan Del Sur, aka Blood vs. Water 2, premiered on September 24, 2014, as 9 pairs of loved ones were dropped off in Nicaragua, and after spending the night with each other, they were officially split up into 2 teams the next day, with the tribe names being Coyopa and Hanapu. And instead of this season of Blood vs. Water having Redemption Island like the previous one, a pair of loved ones would compete against each other for tribe reward, with the loser going to Exile Island. Jeremy beat his wife Val, earning his tribe Flint and a bag of rice. He also got to choose one person from his tribe to join Val on Exile, and chose Keith. On Exile, the two both chose a note from the urns, and while Keith received nothing, Val got a clue to the idol. On Hanapu, Jeremy quickly took over the leadership role, making many alliances. On Coyopa, Nadia tried to make an all-girls alliance despite the females being the minority, but counted Josh as a girl since he was gay. Dale immediately felt like an outsider for being the oldest, and Wes recognized John Wetland as John Rocker, a controversial former MLB pitcher. At the immunity challenge, Hanapu came out on top, sending Coyopa to the first tribal council. The girls' alliance targeted Dale for being perceived as the weakest, while the guys targeted Nadia for her backstabbing gameplay on The Amazing Race. Josh found himself as a swing vote, with Baylor, his closest ally, agreeing to vote with him whichever way he went. And at Tribal, in a clever move, Josh voted for Baylor to avoid picking a side, while Baylor did end up voting with the guys' alliance, sending Nadia home in a 5-3-1 vote.
Nadia, the tribe has spoken.
Baylor questioned Josh's move to vote for her at Tribal, with Josh claiming this was to hide their alliance, but Baylor still felt suspicious of Josh and could no longer fully trust him. At the duel, John volunteered himself to battle it out against his girlfriend Julie, with Julie surprisingly winning in dominant fashion. Julie chose Jeremy to join John on Exile, where Jeremy picked up the clue to the idol, but shared it with John, wanting to form an alliance with him, as he hoped he would protect Val. But after Coyopa lost immunity, John approached Val on working with him, but not trusting John, especially after the tribe discussed his past while he was away, lied to him, stating she had 2 idols, and wouldn't be going anywhere tonight. Now feeling vulnerable, John himself looked for the idol Jeremy shared with him, and found it. But nonetheless, he still felt Val could indeed have 2 idols, and organized a split vote on her and Baylor. The girls got wind of this, and planned to vote out Baylor after she betrayed them at the previous tribal, but Josh, wanting to protect his ally, switched his vote from Baylor to Val, which made the vote a 4-4 tie, and on the revote, Rocker got his way, as Val was sent home.
Val, the tribe has spoken.
Josh explained his reasoning for flipping his vote from Baylor to Val, to which John understood, cementing their alliance. However, when Jeremy called out John and the men's alliance after he saw his wife had been voted out, this led Josh to question John's loyalty to Coyopa. At the duel, Coyopa won their first challenge as Wes beat his dad Keith, earning the tribe fishing gear. Wes chose Josh to join him, where the two bonded despite their very different lifestyles, with Keith even sharing his idol clue with Josh. Back at Hanapu, Jeremy went off on John, telling the tribe about his past controversial statements, turning the entire tribe against him, and this only escalated at the immunity challenge after Hanapu won their 3rd straight immunity.
And he's a bad sportsman.
Bad sport.
Would you say something
Racist.
homophobic or racist like in your past?
If you were a man, I would knock your teeth out.
Oh
You
my
look like a
God.
man,
You can knock
but
me
if you're
out,
a
bro.
female-
Knock me out. I'm not scared of you, bro. I'm not scared of you.
Despite this, the men agreed to stay strong and vote out Baylor. However, Josh, wanting to protect Baylor and not trusting John, and seeing him as a possible threat after showing him the idol, he got the girls plus Wes and Alec on board to blindside John, who was sent home in a 5-2 vote with an idol in his pocket.
John, the tribe has spoken.
Well played.
Episode 4 now of Survivor Juan Del Sur, one of the greatest pre-merge episodes in Survivor history, and that is mostly due to one man, with that man being the legendary Drew Christie.
Basically, I'm a badass and a manipulator of this game.
The episode starts with Drew trying to negotiate with Jeff at the duel as he attempted to trade old Flint for more fishing gear. No, I am not kidding.
So we actually found our other Flint. This one hasn't been
Fantastic.
Hey, listen. I was wondering if there's some reasonable trade we could do. Maybe half the fishing gear, maybe just a mask, a snorkel, and a spear. Just something to put some food on the table.
Right.
Exchange.
Well, it sounds reasonable.
Exactly.
Right.
You're taunting us.
I am taunting you. Put the Flint back. You made the trade. Good effort. I like the effort.
It was worth a try, guys. Nobody else had the balls to do it.
At the duel, the other John of the season, in John Meesh, beat his girlfriend Jacqueline, and Drew Christie, a self-proclaimed ladies' man, volunteered to go to Exile to spend the day with her. At Exile, Drew told Jacqueline not to worry, as he planned to throw the next immunity challenge to get rid of some of the snakes on his tribe. And speaking of snakes, after Keith failed to find the idol, he assumed Jeremy found it, and proceeded to rat out his fellow firefighter to the tribe that he had the idol. Reed told Jeremy that Keith was plotting against him, infuriating Jeremy, and right after Keith did this, he would end up finding the idol anyway. At the immunity challenge, Drew would go through with his plan, throwing the challenge to get rid of Kelly Wentworth? I mean, I guess Drew is a mastermind after all.
I threw the challenge today because we need to go to Tribal and get some of the snakes that are on our team off. If I don't want to win, we're not going to win. And that's what makes me the kingpin of my tribe. We're sending Kelly, man. That's what's happening. Be on board with it or not. I don't care. We don't even trust you guys to really vote. Dude, be real. You know it. I don't care.
After the challenge, all hell broke loose. As Drew campaigned for Kelly, the guys wanted Julie for her association with Rocker. Keith's name was thrown around for being seen as untrustworthy, but in the end, the girls plus Jeremy were able to see through Drew's chaotic gameplay, sending him home in a 5-2-1-1 vote, cementing this episode as one of the single greatest individual downfalls in Survivor history.
Fourth person voted out of Survivor Blood versus Water. Drew. It's 4, that's enough. You need to bring me your torch. Drew, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. Wow.
Instead of a duel, the final 14 were told to drop their buffs as it was time for a tribe swap. On the new Keopa tribe were pairs Kelly and Dale, Missy and Baylor, and Jaun and Jacqueline, with Keith as the only single castaway, while Hunapu's only pair was Josh and Reed, joined by singles Natalie, Jeremy, Wes, Alec, and Julie. The new Hunapu members were shocked at the right situation and agreed they had to make a deal with Jeff the next time they met him. At Keopa, after Missy learned that Dale had targeted her daughter, this made him her #1 target. At the immunity challenge, Hunapu won, and they even got Jeff to promise them he would visit their camp the next morning to make a possible deal with them for more rice. With Dale and his daughter Kelly targeting Baylor, and Baylor and her mom targeting Dale, this put Jaun and Jacqueline in the middle. However, at Tribal, they felt like Kelly was a bigger overall threat, and they got Keith on board to split the votes with Baylor and Missy on Kelly and Dale, sending Kelly home in a 3-2-2 vote.
Kelly, the tribe has spoken.
Once again at the bottom, Dale, who had found a wooden fragment early on in the game, showed it to Jaun, claiming it was an idol. At Hunapu, the tribe agreed to trade away all their comfort items for more rice. At the duel, Reed beat Baylor, earning the tribe meats and eggs. Reed initially chose Julie to go to exile with Baylor, but Natalie volunteered herself, which would be a smart move, as the two formed a close bond, with Baylor sharing her idol clue with Natalie. Hunapu would win their second straight challenge as new tribe, sending Keopa back to Tribal. A desperate Dale offered Jaun his idol in exchange for surviving tonight's vote, but Baylor and Missy campaigned to split the votes on Keith and Dale, not buying his idol lie. At Tribal, Keith was shocked with 2 votes, but in the end, Dale and his daughter became the first pair to be eliminated, as he was sent home in the rare 3-2-1 vote.
Dale, the tribe has spoken.
Baylor and Missy admitted to Keith that they only voted for him in protection of a possible idol play from Dale, but this only made Keith question his alliance with Keopa 2.0. The final 12 then merged, with the alliances being clear, as it was Josh's alliance versus Jeremy's alliance. On Jeremy's side was Natalie, Julie, Baylor, and Missy, while Josh had Reed, Wes, and Keith locked on his side, leaving Jaun and Jacqueline in the middle. The tribe then noticed some leftover trail mix was gone and found it in Julie's bag, giving her the cold shoulder when she returned. At the first individual immunity challenge, Keith came out on top, winning his first immunity in Survivor. Josh would then put in the work for his alliance and eventually got the Keopa 2.0 couples to agree to vote out Jeremy. However, missing her boyfriend and feeling hated by the entire tribe, Jeremy was saved as Julie threw in the towel, which meant we wouldn't get a merge vote off this episode.
But I cannot compromise what I'm needing right now based on what they need, because I don't know them.
So officially, you're quitting the game.
Yes.
Okay. I'll go let the tribe know.
Okay, thank you.
Episode 8 begins with a reward challenge, with the team of Reed, Keith, Wes, Jeremy, and Natalie winning, and they chose Jaun to go to exile. With the alliances being split at the reward, there wasn't much strategizing. But when the players returned to camp, Jacqueline felt disgusted by her new alliance with the way they handled their bodily functions along with their misogynistic comments. The power duo gained even more power as Jaun found the idol on exile. At the immunity challenge, Jeremy went from a guaranteed garner last episode to immune as he won immunity. With Josh no longer trusting his former #1, he got his alliance to vote for Baylor, while Jeremy's side stuck with Josh. In the end, Jacqueline got Jaun to join her to vote against Josh's men alliance, making him the first member of the jury in a 6-5 blindside.
7th person voted out and the first member of our jury. Josh, need to bring me your torch? Josh, the tribe has spoken.
With Josh's alliance on the outs, his boyfriend Reed vowed to get revenge on Jeremy's alliance. At the reward challenge, the team of Baylor, Alec, Reed, Jeremy, and Natalie won a sandwich feast. However, Natalie and Jeremy gave up their spots to Jaun and Jacqueline as thanks for siding with them, and to ensure their alliance. Jeremy was then sent to exile, where he had no luck in finding the idol, which made him assume that Jaun had found it. Baylor would then win immunity, putting Reed on the chopping block. So in a desperate move, he went through Keith's bag and found an idol clue, and told the majority they should target Keith over him. However, after Jeremy interrogated Jaun about having the idol, Jaun threw out the idea of blindsiding Jeremy instead, but the majority worried it was too early to be turning on each other. But at a shocking tribal council, Ejika was shook as the two frontrunners in the pre-merge were taken out in back-to-back tribals, as Keopa 2.0 got Reed on board to blindside Jeremy in a 5-3-2 vote.
Eighth person voted out, and the second member of our jury. Jeremy, need to bring me your torch. Jeremy, the tribe has spoken.
After losing her closest ally, Natalie agreed to stick with Jeremy's old alliance, but vowed to get her revenge on Jaun and Jacqueline down the road. At the reward challenge, Alec, Jaun, Jacqueline, and Reed won a trip to a local village, but Reed gave up his reward to Missy, as she had not been a reward yet. Wes was sent to exile, and while he couldn't find anything, Baylor and Natalie were able to find the idol, using the clues they had previously received from exile, with Natalie taking his possession. At a must-win immunity challenge for Reed, he outlasted Natalie after over 3 hours, guaranteeing his safety. So, the plan became simple now for the majority, to split the votes on Keith and Wes. However, this included the minority alliance in Reed and Alec taking part in the split. So Reed got his minority alliance members of Alec, Keith, and Wes to vote with him to blindside Jaun, as that would give them the numbers in a 4-3-2 vote. However, just when it looked like Reed would pull off this epic blindside, Keith said a bit too much.
I say stick to the plan. You know, at this point, that's all I can say.
If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Jeff, I'd rather play this than go home with it in my pocket.
Thank you.
Here you go, Jeff. Hadn't even opened it.
How do you know it's real?
Oh, just taking a chance.
Jaun does not count. Keith, nobody with any votes. Wes, that's 1 vote Wes, 1 vote left. 9th person voted out and the 3rd member of our jury. Wes, you need to bring me your torch. Wes, the tribe has spoken.
Jaun and Jacqueline thanked Natalie profusely after she told Jaun to play the idol, which made them 100% convinced Natalie was with them until the end. At the reward challenge, the majority alliance broke the coconut challenge, as after the majority eliminated all the minority alliance members, they didn't even hide the fact that they were going to let Missy win, leading Jeff to end the challenge right then and there.
Yeah, they haven't been to one yet.
Let me ask you guys a question. Is this going to be a friendly, we're just going to see how this goes between the 5 of you for the rest of this challenge?
Probably.
So.
Why are we wasting our time? Just tell me who it's going to be.
Probably my mom's gonna win. I'm gonna win.
Missy.
Here, Missy, come over to me. First time ever,
This is crazy.
a fivesome just going to give it to somebody.
Jaun volunteered to go to exile, while Missy chose Baylor and Natalie to join her for reward, leaving Jacqueline at camp all day with the minority, where she once again considered flipping with Jaun, feeling that Natalie, Missy, and Baylor would make a final 3. The two once again gained much power, as Jaun found the re-hidden idol at exile. After Keith won immunity, Jacqueline wanted to talk to Jaun about their options, but Jaun just simply wanted to relax with his girl, leading the two to get into an argument, with Jacqueline even giving Jaun the cold shoulder throughout the day. With the swing votes not even talking, there was little the outsider Reed could do, as he was voted out unanimously.
Reed, the tribe has spoken.
Oh, good job.
Episode 12 began with Natalie winning reward, and she brought Jaun and Jacqueline along with her on reward to confirm their alliance, when in reality, she was officially ready to get her revenge on Jaun. She told Baylor of her plan, and told her that Jaun had the idol, as he showed Natalie the idol on reward. Unfortunately for Natalie, her target Jaun won immunity, leaving her plan on pause for now, but in a clever move, to greater the chances of Jaun losing the next immunity challenge, she quote accidentally flipped her vote from Keith to Alec on the split vote, to keep the challenge threat Keith around for one more vote, sending Alec to the jury, and leaving Jaun and Jacqueline extremely confused.
11th person voted out, and the 5th member of our jury. Alec, need to bring me your torch. Alec, the tribe has spoken.
Natalie put on a great act, saying she was confused by the split, with Jaun and Jacqueline buying it completely. The team of Missy, Jaun, and Keith won reward, but Missy hurt her ankle during the challenge, which would affect her the rest of the season, as she wasn't able to compete in the final couple of challenges. But speaking of challenges, Natalie outlasted Jaun to win a key immunity and put her plan into action, and that was for her, Missy, Baylor, and Keith to split the votes on Jaun and Jacqueline. However, she was obviously scared of Keith once again blowing up the plan, along with Missy possibly not taking part in this, as she had pledged her loyalty to Jaun. But in the end, the split vote did go through, and Jaun was sent to the jury with an idol in his pocket on the revote.
Jaun, the tribe has spoken.
It's the finale now of Survivor San Juan del Sur, and while the 4 girls no longer knew who they could fully trust, they did realize that they couldn't let Keith sneak his way to the end. However, Keith would win the reward challenge, with his reward being that he would get the practice for the upcoming immunity challenge, to which he dominated, guaranteeing himself a spot in the final 4. But right when all hope seemed lost for Jacqueline, Natalie talked to her about breaking up the final duo in the game in Baylor and Misty, and in an absolutely dominant and flashy move, she waited until the votes were cast to say her iconic phrase in front of the jury.
Jacqueline, did you vote for who I told you to vote for? I'm saying this for Jack.
Okay. Jacqueline, does not count. 13th person voted out and the 7th member of our jury, Baylor. Need to bring me your torch. Baylor, the tribe has spoken.
Despite taking out their respective loved ones, Natalie was able to convince Jacqueline and Missy that Keith had to be the next one to go. And at the final immunity challenge, Jacqueline won it for the ladies, winning her first and most important immunity. Keith, feeling defeated, decided to vote for Missy, and with Natalie voting for Keith, this gave Jackie and Missy the option to get revenge on Nat and take her out in a 2-1-1 vote. But in the end, Natalie's campaigning for Keith being a jury threat was too great for Missy and Jacqueline to ignore, as Keith's wild San Juan del Sur game came to an end, becoming the final member of the jury.
Keith, the tribe has spoken.
Missy, Natalie, and Jacqueline now against the jury of 8. While the jury pretty much unanimously agreed Natalie played the best game, Missy got a vote from her daughter, and Jacqueline got 2 votes, one from Jaun and one from Reed, to give her the second place money over Missy after he absolutely berated her during his jury speech. But in the end, Natalie received the majority 5 votes to win Survivor San Juan del Sur, and to this day, remains as the most dominant endgame winner in Survivor history.
The winner of Survivor San Juan del Sur, Natalie.
Thank you guys so much for watching this retrospective of Survivor San Juan del Sur. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like, and check out my other In Blake minute videos as well, and let me know in the comments what you thought about this season. With all that said, take care everyone, and I'll see you next time.